everyone, welcome back to Kidding Around. My name is Melanie Smith and I am thrilled that you are here with me today for another Test Tube Tuesday. As you know, on Tuesdays we do all things scientific and today is no different. Today we will be making magnetic slime. Before we do that though, if you like what you're seeing here and want to follow along with all of Kidding Around's videos, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you really like what we're doing here, please share us with your friends. Thank you very much. Okay, so moving on to magnetic slime. So as you saw, when I had this little ball here and I held a magnet over it, the ball was attracted to the magnet. What do you think will happen when I hold a magnet over this larger blob of slime? Make a prediction. Okay, now let's watch. Watch carefully. All right, I don't know if you could see what happened there, but I know that you would have felt it if you were holding this magnet. If you were holding this magnet, you would have felt that all of a sudden it was swooped out of your hand. You can see that the slime loves the magnet. Do you have any predictions as to what will happen if we leave these things together? What do you think will happen? All right, make a prediction, and then we are going to set this aside as we make our own slime, and then we will check back in with it, okay? All right, but let's get going on making our own slime. To do that, you will need a few materials. You will need some borax. This you can find in the laundry section of the grocery store, or there's also a link below this video. And this is what it looks like poured out of its box. I just couldn't reach clear down in the box to get the measured amount that I needed, so I've poured it in a bowl. You will also need a full 4-ounce bottle of white glue, and you will need some iron filings. This is something most people probably do not have at their house, but I have a link below as to where you can get it. All right, and then you will also need 2 bowls. You will need a 1/4 cup measuring cup, a spoon, some measuring spoons, some warm water. Let's see, some paper towels are very good to have on hand. And then you will also need something to cover your work surface. And it should be something that can take water. So I have some parchment paper here, but you could use plastic or something, maybe even thick cardboard would work as well. But you want to make sure that it will provide a barrier so that water doesn't get down to your work surface. All right, well, let's get started. All right, before we get too into the thick of making our slime, I realized that I neglected to tell you that you will also need a magnet. So you will need a magnet made out of neodymium, and there's a link below this video, and you can buy them at that link. All right, but let's actually get going to mixing. The first thing that you are going to do is dump your 4-ounce bottle of white glue into a bowl. I would also make sure that these bowls are not, your prized china. They should be plastic bowls that you don't mind mixing in. I mean, they will come clean, but I would just use plastic bowls that are not prized possessions. All right, the glue takes a while to come out, but you just wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. When it gets pretty close to completely out, then take some water and fill your glue bottle about halfway full, and then you'll close it back with the top on it and shake it well, and that will get the rest of the glue out that you need. All right, so once you've shaken it, then you can dump all of it, your water and glue mixture, back into your glue bowl. Okay, I think that's good enough. Then you are going to, in your other bowl, mix your borax and your water. So the borax that you need is 1/2 teaspoon. It's not very much at all. So you're just going to take 1/2 teaspoon of borax and put it in your other bowl. And then you are going to take 1/4 cup of warm water and pour that in the bowl with your borax. Then take your spoon and stir it well. You want to stir it until it is the borax is completely dissolved. So this takes, 30 seconds. Maybe not even that, but make sure that it's completely dissolved. All right, we're looking good there. So now we combine the two bowls. So I'm going to pour the borax and the water into the glue and water mixture. What you get is kind of a slurry of mess, at least at first. Then you just start mixing it together, and I start with a spoon, and then I will eventually move to my hands. But you can kind of see that blob that's forming. That is your slime. All right, I'm going to stir it around the bowl, try to get all of the glue off the bottom, because the more that you get mixed in, the more slime that you have. Okay, that looks pretty good. When it gets to about this consistency, then this is when the really messy part starts, and this is when you absolutely need to have your work surface covered. Then you reach in and you pull it out and you kind of mix it, finish mixing it with your hands. It feels kind of slimy at this point, which I guess is the point because it's slime, but it definitely feels slimier than it will at the end. So when it gets to about this consistency, you can kind of see there that it's kind of sliding between my fingers. Then you put it down on your covered surface and you want to flatten it out as much as possible. So I've flattened it out there. I think that's pretty good. Now I'm reaching for these paper towels to wipe off my hands because they are gluey. All right, now you get to take your iron filings, and you can see that I have mine double bagged. The iron filings are very sharp. They're small, but they're very sharp. And so when they go into a plastic bag, they're very likely to break it. So if you get a bag of iron filings, you might just preemptively put it in another bag to save you a lot of heartache and keep it from spilling out somewhere you don't want it to spill. All right, so now I'm going to take about a tablespoon of iron filings. It doesn't have to be exactly a tablespoon, something about like this much though, and I am going to spread those all over my slime. I'm trying to stay pretty close to my slime and not overshoot too much. You'll see that you have to fill it pretty full. It's definitely mounded over there in spots. And then you take your hand and you just start folding over the slime. And then when you can pick it up, you kind of keep folding it over, and then you can just mix it in with your hands. This takes quite a while, but you will see that all of a sudden the slime is becoming more workable and a little less goopy. All right, just keep working and work over that covered surface. You will see that some of the filings come out as you're continuing to work this in. We'll take care of those in a little bit, but it helps if it's on your covered surface. They'll be easier to pick up. All right, so when it gets to about this point, then I just start folding it over on itself. You can see right here that slime and the iron filings have not been mixed in, so I keep folding over on top of itself. They will eventually get mixed in. You just have to have a little bit of patience here. All right, when I get to a point where I see that they really haven't been mixed in, then I try to fold it on top of itself, forcing those filings into the slime. All right, I'm making progress, don't you think? I think I'm making pretty good progress. Now I'm going to tear it apart and see if those filings in the middle are incorporated. And you know what? Some of them are, and that's great, but not all of them. So then I fold it again, and I fold it on itself, and I fold it. This is a good hand workout. My goodness, I'm gonna have strong hands. So are you. All right, well, we're getting close. Now I'm going to pick up some of these iron filings that have fallen off. They're not really wanting to come along, but you can see that I got plenty there. And then I am going to continue working them in. As your slime gets very dry, you can dip it back into that water mixture And that will help you be able to move those filings around inside of it just a little bit. Just enough. All right, I'm still struggling to get that part, that middle part mixed in. But now with the wetter slime, I think I've got it. All right, it's going to feel very different than it did when it started. Your hands are going to be filled with filings. That's all okay. This is all part of the process. All right, fold over, pull it out, fold it again, pull it out. All right, do you see mine is kind of tearing again? So I'm going to put it in the water again. This is just part of the whole mixing process. I can see that it's starting to look like the slime that I made earlier for our sample, but I can still really feel the grittiness of the iron filings, so I don't think that I'm going to consider it done yet. All right, so I'm pulling it, I'm folding over, and I'm pulling it. Maybe it's really, really tough. But that's good, strong muscles. It's making strong muscles. All right, and then I'm going to fold it over again. I'm going to do this about 4 or 5 more times. I see I just tore it again. So I'm going to put just a little bit more gluey water on it. And it's amazing how that sometimes really helps. All of a sudden it just feels like all of those filings have been incorporated. Except right now, it just makes me feel like everything is slippery. But part of the process, scientific process going on right here, right? All right. Okay, this is starting to feel very good right now. So we're going to go with this. So you may have to go with this process for 5 or 10 minutes. That's okay. It will eventually work, and all of the iron filings will eventually be incorporated. And once it feels like it's starting to happen, then you can, dab your slime down on the iron filings that have fallen out. The more iron filings that you get in your slime, the more magnetic it is. I'm not going to take the time to pick up all of these iron filings, but I definitely would recommend that you do to make sure that you have very magnetic slime. All right, so once you have it to a good consistency, to something that kind of looks like that, then you get to play. Now again, I highly recommend that you not put this slime on any prized possessions. If you want to grab another piece of parchment paper to put it down on, that would be great. Or if you have a work table, that's probably okay to put the slime on. I definitely wouldn't leave it on anything that has a nice finish. Like if you have a nice dining room table, I wouldn't leave it there. And I would definitely, when I'm done playing with it, make sure to put it in a bag so that it doesn't get left and goopy or take anything off of anything that you don't want to happen. I'm sure that the grown-ups in your house would appreciate you taking care of your slime and making sure that it stays where it's supposed to. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now let's see if it works. Oh, it does. Did you see that pull in? I hope you can see that. I can definitely feel it. It's a fun feeling. All right, now let's take a little ball and see if we can, here, let me move this. We'll take a little ball and we'll see if we can get the ball to move by only using the magnet. I'm not sure if this is possible because of the way that it jerks to the magnet, but I think it's worth some good experiment time. All right, we've got our little ball there. Let's see if we can pull it along the table. I see it moving. It's moving. Oh, look. Oh, it got stuck. All right, let's try one more time and see if we can get it to work. All right, it's moving. It's moving. You can definitely tell that the slime is nothing that moves very quickly. So this is great for patience. Here we go. Oh, it's moving. What do you think? I'm worried that it's going to just snap to the magnet. Oh, just like that. Well, I think this would be a great experiment for you to do, and I think you can really enjoy experimenting with it and seeing what happens as you play with your magnetic slime and magnet. Speaking of that, let's check our other slime and see what has happened. You can see my hands are very dirty, so make sure to be prepared to wash your hands very well after you mix all that slime. Oh my goodness! Look at what has happened here. That slime has just overtaken that magnet. All right, I'm going to put that one in for you to watch as I tell you why this is happening. It goes slowly, but it does start growing over the magnet, and it's kind of fun to watch. All right, so the reason that this is happening is because the iron filings are attracted to the strong magnet, as we can clearly tell. But the adhesion between the iron filings and the slime is also very strong. So the filings are attracted to the magnet, but the slime is adhered to the filings as well. So they kind of just ooze over the magnet. Isn't that fun? All right, well, I am sure that you will have a ton of fun with your magnetic slime. I would love to see all of the things that you will do with your magnetic slime. Can you get this ball to roll across the table without jerking to the magnet? I think you probably can, and I would love to see a video if you get that to happen. I would love to see pictures of you playing with your slime as well. Please ask a grown-up to post those on our Facebook site. Well, this wraps up another Test Tube Tuesday. I hope you've had as much fun as I have. It's a little bit messy, but sometimes messy makes the most fun, don't you think? Please, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to follow along with us, again on YouTube, but also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. I can't wait to connect with you. Well, thanks so much for joining me today for this Test Tube Tuesday. Thanks for kidding around with me. I will see you next time.